So I think we will start now because if there is somebody more that some other people that need to come, they will come a little bit late. Greetings everyone. Thank you for joining our Zoom session. And this is our 8th Zoom session from India until here, מהודו ועד כאן. And I would like to remind everyone, please to follow our lectures, our talks. We have plenty more to come. And with מסע'לה and כמדן מוקדם Publication House in the 27 and 28 of January this month, we will do the Malida ceremony occasion with the embassy, the Indian embassy in Israel. So you are all welcome to join us. And without further ado, I would like to invite Dr. Swarup వర్מה to talk about Ayurveda and a healthy way of life, to combine it. And I hope everybody will enjoy. Anyone that has any questions, please write it in the chat. And in the end of the conversation, we will ask the questions. Without further ado again, I am happy to invite our special guest, Dr. Swarup వర్מה, Ayurvedic doctor, yoga teacher, tantra, meditation. He's been practicing this in Israel for almost 30 years. And he's 6th generation of Ayurvedic doctors. And please, Dr. వర్מה, the stage is yours.
Thank you. It's really nice being with you guys and talk about on Ayurveda. So it's Ayurveda actually is a system which is a part of the bigger system, what we call the Vedic system, Vedic knowledge, you know. From that Vedas, Ayurveda actually the branch of the Veda. So Ayurveda, it consists of 2 Sanskrit roots. So here you see, as is written there, Ayurveda. So it consists of 2 Sanskrit roots, Ayur and the Veda. So Ayur means the life, Chaim. Veda means the knowledge, Veda, Yeda. So it is the knowledge, or when the knowledge is systematic, then it becomes science. So it's a science of life, that's what we call it. So as you see, it has its meaning in itself. It is not a medical medicine in a conventional sense to cure the disease only, but it is a way of life which teaches us how to maintain the health and how to balance the life, because it's all about the balance. It's all about the harmony between the individual being with our environment and with our inner nature. So Ayurveda actually is very ancient knowledge actually, because of the root in the Vedas. So Vedas is also at least 3,000-4,000 years that we know, but it was before printing. It was on Balpe, it was the knowledge that people were having and sharing without writing it. So it's a long, very long system. It's like a very long way that they are really researched for thousands of years. It's been actually, there's no beginning, no end, like a Vedas, they say, Brahma ismattu ayusho Vedam. So just it recalls, it remembered, re-remembered when we see the origin of Ayurveda or the Vedas. So it's eternal, in this way. This knowledge is actually is built in with the human being as we appear. So it is not, as I explained before, it's not only the medical system in conventional sense to cure the disease, but it's a way of life. So Ayurveda, this is the Ayurveda talk about that they are the three pillars of the life, Maha pillars, we call it, Trayame Dandavat. Traya is three, and Danda, Dandekar, Danda. So like the tripod, cannot sustain without having a harmony in the three legs. So the life cannot sustain properly without having a harmony between the body, mind, and consciousness. And actually, the body is the expression of the consciousness, and the mind, according to the yoga, is a kind of vritti, or the contaminations on the consciousness. So I will talk about all these three components in details, what the body is made up of, what is the mind, and what is the consciousness in much larger pictures. So what is the definition of health actually in Ayurveda? In Ayurveda, we call the health called swastha in Sanskrit. Swastha is a beautiful word. Swa means the self, and stha means establish. As somebody who establishes in himself means like he or she, means like any human being, that is external and internal environment in harmony and perfection. That is the definition of health. You see, yeah, this is the definition of the health in by the WHO. The health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely an absence of the disease. And the Ayurveda say the same thing. Sam dosha, samagni, sam dhatu, malakriya, prasanna atma, indriya mana. So it's showing that one is in perfect health when the three dosas, when the body, some dosha. Dosas are the physical component. So vat, pit, kapha. Some dosha, some agni. Agni is the digestive fire, the digestion, the assimilation and absorption, and all the body's tissue. That's what they say. So the physical body and the agni and the dhatus, all the tissues in the body, when they are in complete harmony and functioning properly, and also the wastage in the bodies are eliminated properly, the feces and urination, etc. And prasanna indriya atma, when there's a very content mind and spirit and the settlement of the spirit, like when the person is settled in himself, actually with this all component, that is the definition of health in Ayurveda. So it's very comprehensive, it's not just because when the people comes to me and then they say, their medical reports, for example, everything is fine, all the blood test and everything is perfect, but still person not feeling good. So this is not only the physical things, there are so many components in the life that person go through. So we check all the aspects of the life, you see. So this is the Ayurvedic, the aim of the Ayurveda, hita hitam sukham dukkham ayusham hitahitam. So Ayurveda enhance the health of the healthy person, and also if there's a sickness or disease, also there's a treatment in details about it. So hitahitam sukham dukkham ayusham hitahitam. So to promote and maintain health of healthy people, to cure and remove illness, to restore balance, this is the other aspect of to bringing the harmony, to improve quality of life, and to prolong the longevity, and ultimately self-realization. Because when the body is healthy, then the mind is proper functions, emotions, and then there's a more chances that you will understand who you are. This is the aim of Ayurveda. Now let's go to the fundamentals of Ayurveda. What is really how Ayurveda actually functions? What are the basic of Ayurveda? So I will talk about that how this existence, the cosmos and the human being came in existence. So the unmanifested soul of the universe, or unmanifested consciousness, manifest through the two component, Purusha and Prakriti. The Purusha, which is the pure consciousness, soul of the universe, Shiva, male energy, and Prakriti is the matter, primordial matter, creative energy, Maya, Shakti, whatsoever you can call. So this matter and energy, when they combine together, then existence starts. And their combinations, so when the Purusha and Prakriti meet, in the time of their conjunction, there is a cosmic sound, what we call the pranava, the Om. And through this, then everything is emanated, The 5 elements are created in the after the Purusha and Prakriti get together, because this is the material things. You see, these are the 5 elements, manifestation of consciousness into matter. So 5 different form of matters are space, air, fire, water, and earth. So the life cannot be sustained without having these 5 elements. So space, is very important. It's like container where contain has to be hang out. Air is the gaseous form of the matter. Without air, life is not possible. Air carry the prana, the vital energy, the life force. And the fire is a luminous or combustive form. And fire actually is important. Outside, we have the sun, solar energy. Inside, all kinds of enzyme in the body that digest, comprehends all kinds of functions in the body. So fire is also very important. And water, 75-80% of our body is made up of water, liquid. So the liquid form of the matter is water. Water do the hydration. And the earth is our solid existence. So these 5 elements actually, they're making the universe, the outside and external world, and also they represent inside our body. So that's the common between the external world to the internal world. So Ayurveda say yatha pinde tatha brahmande. What is in the universe, so is in the human cells. So what is in the external world, so the 5 elements are actually the common, you can say, material between the human being and the external world. We constantly exchanging these 5 elements through food, water, and air. So nutrition, actually what we eat, is also dominated by the 5 elements. There is a food which is having a akashic nature, more space, food which is create more air in the body. Food can also generate the heat in the body, the fire. Food can also hydrate, and food can also make our solidity inside the body, the more groundedness. So all these 5 elements actually, they have the physical appearance and also their quality and their attributes. So when they combine, when they functions in the body, then we call them the doshas. They functions in the 3, you can say in 3 groups. This is the 5 elements. They appears in the 3 forms. Space and air consist vata, and fire and water pitta, and water and earth kapha. So you see, the vata actually is the is space and air, but vata means wind or the air. It's more dominant by the air, but still space and air. So vata means actually that which moves the things. So it is a factor which is a prana, the energy in the body. So because of the prana, because of this energy, we functions, So anything in the body, all kinds of actions we have, activities in the body is done by the vata. Without vata, actually, there's no prana in the body. So we'll be like that. So that's which governs all kinds of movement in the body. So it governs on the nervous system. So if the vata is too high, the person is very much, hyper or very agitated and very airy, spacey also, because there's a space there. And pitta means that which digests the things. So it is digestive, or it is convulsive, or it is, you can say, metabolic processes in the body. So pitta, that which burn, or that which assimilate the external world to the internal world, is the pitta. Without fire, so we have this fire in our digestive system, which digests the food and assimilate and make and nourish our body. And also we have a fire in our sensory perceptions. We are in our brain, so we digest all kinds of information, knowledge that become the wisdom. So that's the pitta, which is very important functions in the body. And kapha, water and earth together make kapha. Kapha is the structure. Kapha is the all our physical existence. So we have the energy, vata, and we have this pitta elements, which is exchanging the external world to the internal world by the digestion, by the assimilation and absorption of the external 5 elements, and nourishing our inner 5 elements. That's what the pitta do. And kapha is govern on our structures. So our solid existence, our body, physical body, is dominated by the kapha. So I will say these 3 doshas, vat, pittam, kaphas, cheti, trayo dosha samasata. These are the 3 doshas which governs all our physical, psychological, and biochemical structure and functions in the body. So here in this table, you see the vata, the source of movement. Every element has its quality and attributes. The quality and attributes, of course, are very much connected, but what it gives, for example, vata, the quality of vata is dry, light, cold, mobile, subtle. These are the quality of the air, the wind. The attributes it gives: enthusiasm, creativity, inspiration, expiration, movement, and energy. So without vata, there's no excitement, no enthusiasm, there's no creativity. Vata gives us all these things, the moving. What is creativity? Creativity is to making something new, So that is governed by the vata. Pitta, that which digests the thing, quality of its hot, sharp, light, fleshy, smell, oily. So it attributes digestion, also digestion of the through the 5 senses. We are also constantly absorbing the external world through our 5 senses, and that's done by the pit. So sight, that we see, intellect, heat, hunger, thirst, it's governed by kapha, that which hold things together. So the quality of kapha is, as you can see, because all this quality come from the elements. So you see the earth and water together, it becomes like a very heavy, both. So it's a heavy, slow, cold, oily, smooth, stable. Kapha has actually many quality, much more than the vata and pit. So it attributes of it is give the firmness, binding, strength, unctuousness. Unctuousness is the oiliness, stability, patience, love, compassion, forgiveness. All these are the quality, because the kapha also governs on our emotions. So I will say when there's a harmony between this vat, pitta, and kapha, when they functions on their optimum, the health is on optimum. The disturbance between them, then all kinds of problems start. So doshas are just written there, energetic principle that governs physiological, psychological, biochemical functions. Now this, as we see that each cells, okay, please try to understand now, to focus to understand that what really they are. If you see the cell, the human cell, so human cell has 3 components, Human cell is alive. So this liveness is the vitality inside, the cellular intelligence, is the vata, the prana. Prana keep it alive. And then we have each cell have the metabolism. Things goes inside, come from inside, come out from it. The cell is absorbing all the time. So this is the pitta, the digestive function. And each cell has a structure, small cell, bigger cell. So each cell contains vata, pitta, and kapha with this principle. Now, the time of conception, when the sperms and the ova meet, sperms and ova is also singular cells. So they all have vata, pitta, kapha. So when they combine the time of conception, when our parents meet, then what's actually dominant that time combined together and trapped in the one unite cells that, what we call the zygote, the first cell that come from the sperms and the ova together. And then it transfer all this proportion of vata, pitta, kapha in the embryo. And that embryo carry all his life what is trapped in it. So that make the person's what we call the prakriti. That's written on Sanskrit on the top. Prakriti means pratham, the first, and kriti means a creation. The first creation, when the sperms and the ova meet, and they carry this vata, pitta, kapha. It's like a genetic material, combined together, and then they create a psychobiological type or psychobiological temperament of individual, what we call mind-body type. Because I hesitate to call it body type, because it's not just the physical body, but also is psychological, mental makeup too. So I would say that the time of conception, what is built there, it carry all our life. The prakriti, the inherent nature, does not change by the time. It can be more or less sometimes, it can be dominant, it can be aggravated, or it can be less aggravated, but it will be always dominant. So the person will show all his life this body type, what we call the prakriti. So prakriti, I will say, never changes, like a blueprint, of the human being. So it's so by the combination. So just can go the earlier one, the earlier slide, please. Yeah, thank you. So here you see. So as I wrote here up that each cells has the VPK. So when they combine, for example, the time of conception in the father, just for example, I say in Hebrew, stam dugma, not to connect, not to, because things can happen any. So vata, for example, in the sperms, the vata is dominant, and in the ova, pitta dominant. And if the vata is more dominant than pitta, so the child will have vata pitta constitution. If vata more dominant, then we call vata pitta. If pitta more dominant, we call pitta vata. And all this constitution and the appearance we check by the pulse, by the dofek, and also asking the questions. And also the physical appearance can also say many things. The person's habits, the lifestyle, his eating habits, many things can tell about his personality. So like this combination and permutation, there are different body types, 10 different body types. So you can go, please, the further one. Yeah. So, for example, if the vata combined together, also in the sperms, vata dominant, the time of, that's why the time of conception is very important. Very, very important. In India, we have the whole ritual, called Garbhadhan Sanskar, the conditioning to the rituals to rituals for the conception. So that's why if you can see in Indian wedding, the both side, also the boys side and the girl side, the both, they go through purification before the wedding. They have special kinds of food and the special massage, and there's now just remains kind of formalities, rituals, but it has a very deep meaning inside. They have a special food during this 15 days, 2 weeks before the wedding, also the man, also the woman. So because that time there's no contraceptives when they were, after the marriage they get together and then procreation starts. So that the time of conception is very important. So here you see the dual type. So there are vata pitta, pitta kapha, kapha vata. They are dual type when the two dosas are dominant. So it can be opposite, vata pitta, pitta vata. So like they are 6, 3 and 3. And then we have monotype. So for example, if the sperms and also the ova dominate the same, one doshas, vata, then we have vata, pitta, kapha. But we must understand when they are monotype, there is also pitta and kapha if there's a vata, but they are not as dominant as vata. That's why we call it. It's just the domination, we call them the type. And then there's a tridoshic type. Tridoshic type is no one dosha is significantly dominant, So these are the people actually in a kind of lucky that they get this constitution, so their body can tolerate all kinds of changes, So when I say vata pitta, what it means? It means a person who's dominated by vata is having a tendency that vata will go out of balance if external, if the food and the lifestyle is vata aggravating, So that's how it goes. So these are the 10 different body types, but each individual is indivisible, I would say, undivided, whole, complete, So as many people we are, so many constitutions falling in this 10, but they all are different from each other because the proportion of the elements cannot be, completely equal, in each individual. So that's why two vata type of people cannot be the same, but in one vata, one kinds of a quality of vata will be dominant, in another maybe some other dominant, So like this, we are having a different individual. That's why I will talk about the to respect our individuality, to respect our prakriti, and to go with it. And this is the prakriti as before I talk about that how the our constitution is built, and that carry all the life. And vikruti is the imbalance state. What's happening now? How you born? What was the constitution that time? That called prakriti. And then what's happening now? We call vikruti. So when we check the pulse, we check in the two different level. One level we check the inherent quality of the individual, and then we check what's happening now. How far a person is from his prakriti. That shows his disturbance in his health. So that is prakriti is a state of balance and vikruti is a state of imbalance. So it shows the prakriti and vikruti. So we check the differences between prakriti and vikruti, and then we give the food, lifestyle, and all kinds of treatment accordingly. These differences, Besides this, I will talk about that there are the 3 pillars of actually of health. Ahar is the food, shayan or nidra is the sleep, and brahmacharya actually is translated as celibacy, non-celibacy, but 3 pillars of health: ahar, nidra, and brahmacharya. So these are actually 3 components which very important in our life. Ahar is not only the food, but anything we take in or we ingest in. Could be any other things that we we absorb through the senses, 5 senses, you know, that is also ahar. That is the ahar of our senses, you know, that's the food of our senses. So wholesome, healthy food, very important, one thing. Nidra is a sleep or rest, and also relaxation and meditation come in the sleep. Brahmacharya actually is translate as celibacy, very quite wrongly somehow, because it didn't actually say its definitions. It consists 2 words, Brahma and Charya. Brahma means actually the expansion of consciousness or expansion of mind, you can say. And Charya is the path or the way or the practice where you expand your consciousness or your chetana or your manas, the mind. So that is actually a kind of activities, you know. So food, sleep, and this is the most fundamental activities to expand, to extend our consciousness, you know. I will talk a lot about that. We must not constrict our consciousness or dull or down to our consciousness, but to expand it. So expansion of consciousness is actually brahmacharya, a practice by or sadhana, the sadhana by which you expand your consciousness or expand your and this consciousness, this the inherent energy, which is what we call the kundalini shakti, you know, that is the sexual energy. So proper regulation of sexual energy is also brahmacharya. So that's how we do. We're taking the this gross energy, which is built by the food and the lifestyle in our lower chakras, and we pull it from the lower to the upper to purify it. So the balance between ahar, nidra, and brahmacharya is very important. I will talk in details about it, and especially brahmacharya is talked in details in the tantric literature, also in tantra too. Especially the left-hand tantra talk about that how to expand and how to sublime this gross sexual energy to the higher consciousness. So we will actually talk about more in this talk about food. Cultivation of energy through healthy nutrition and healthy lifestyle. This is Ayurvedic also aim. So there are 4 components: ahar, vihar, achar, vichar. Ahar, healthy nutrition. Vihar is wholesome lifestyle, how you spend your time, what you do, you know, all your daily routines, you know. Achar is relationship between environment and us, between our fellow friends and family people. So this relationship also very important. And which are the thinking process. So what you think, what you eat, how you behave, this all actually important in our life, you know. Now there are also the food affect on our mind, on our mental attitudes, you know, through the 3 gunas. We call them gunas, the properties. These are the gunas, the property of the mind: sattva, rajas, and tamas. When sattva dominant, so it gives us clarity of perception. We see the things as it is, without any delusion, you know. So when sattva is dominant, you can find yourself sometime that you are very clear in your head, especially in the morning after waking up. So it's a very spiritual energy, and is peace and calmness, contentness that sattva gives. So there's a food, we'll talk about it. There's a food which can create the sattva. So I will talk about to take more sattvic food. So sattvic food, pure, you know, sattva means also pure, essence, light. These are the meaning or connotation of sattva, essence. Rajas is the more hectic, more how you say, ungroundedness, hyperactive state of mind. When there's a lot, all kinds of ambitions, desire, restlessness, and person is very much caught in the what we call the rat race. Yeah? So this is a Rajas state of mind. And I will talk about in details that what are the food which contain the Rajas quality, what are the food that contain the Sattva quality, not only the food, also the action, also the herbs and whatsoever, they can have any of one of them, Sattva, Rajas or Tamas. Tamas is a quality where the dull, darkness, inertia, when is the mind is very foggy, when you feel tired, when you feel like a heavy, lazy, and sleepy. So inertia more, so tamas is a one quality that need to be avoided, because tamas covered our senses, and then our senses not function properly. The five senses, we don't see proper, we don't hear proper, we don't understand. So tamas is the quality that need to be avoided. So I was talking about also the food which has a tamas quality. Yeah, here is showing the different quality, different kinds of sattvic, rasic, and tamasic food. Please can you continue? This is I just took from the net. So here see, sattvic food. Sattvic food helps the body feel light and limber and promote a peaceful and clear mind. So here you see the mostly vegetarian food is sattvic, freshly cooked food also sattvic, grains, beans and legumes, nuts and seeds, herbs, and clean water, natural sweeteners, and how you say the dairy that I will talk about, the dairy products that I will talk about is completely different than now. They used to be very organic, and the animals eat only the outside grazing, different kinds of herbs and plants. So the milk here also considered as sattvic, but I don't think so. Milk can be sattvic now, as as the animal is heavily how you say chemicalized, and so much hormones and antibiotics and steroids used to grow them. So it's better to avoid them. And fruits and vegetables, oils, etc. So these are the mostly sattvic food. And so the rasic food is the food which is actually create all kinds of how you say the hyperactiveness, the restlessness, and all kinds of agitation. So all the stimulating food, tea, coffee, heavily spiced food, food which is again very much canned food or torn food, tobacco, smoking. These are the things which is rajas, And tamasic food is the food which actually very heavy to digest. That's the quality of the tamasic food. Actually, sattvic food is very light. The food which easily digestible is the sattvic. The food is heavy to digest is the tamasic food. So the food which is like a red meat, and the fermented food, unripe, over spiced food, frozen food, canned food, the leftover food, putrid, not freshly cooked. So these are the food which is heavy to digest. So we must avoid, because they create more different kinds of problems. Let's try to understand that how this food and the three dosa we talk about function together. So the digestion and the food preparation, when we prepare the food in Ayurveda, we consider that how we can make this food lighter. Because all the herbs and the spices that we use in the food is to enhance the fire in the food, enhance the digestive fire, enhance the absorption and the assimilation, so it will digest properly. That's why we use. There's a great knowledge in Ayurveda which kinds of food goes with which kinds of spices to balance the 5 elements inside the food. Ultimately, everything is 5 elements, So that's why we use. So if the food is not properly digested, how it affects on the body. And also when the doshas are, how you say, aggravated, then they create a different kinds of metabolic rate. They produce the different kinds of metabolic patterns, and then it affects on the body. So for example, vata, when vata dominant, that person having irregular appetite. Sometimes it digests, sometimes it not. So digestive fire is very, very variable. It's shaky by the wind. It's like you are having an oven, and then you put the pot on top of it, and then the wind is blowing. So how it will be? So it's again, so it create again, it food won't be digest properly. So that's how when the doshas go out of balance, they affect on digestive fire. And this the affected digestive fire cannot digest food properly. Then undigested food circulate in the body and deposit in different part of the body and clog the body, and that is the main cause of the disease. That the undigested food called ama in Sanskrit. Ama is the undigested residue of the food. Now they talk about microbiome, in the gut. I will talk about it in details, how to keep these microbiomes healthy. They talk in different terms, they call it digestive fire. That can be enzyme, microbiome, all kinds of salts, and all kinds of pancreatic, or how you call the liver or the gallbladder juices, which helps to digest the food. So that is the digestive fire that we have. So it's very important. And the food is also, there are so many principles about the food, how to consume it, how to eat it, how to prepare it, and how to eat also. So there's a detailed knowledge about it. I will also talk a little bit about the body type, so give a little bit glimpse about this vata, pitta, kapha, because food has to be eaten according to your body type, according to your nature, because body type is your nature. It is your teva, it is your inherent nature. So what the type of people you can see, vata, pitta, kapha, is 3 type of people. You can see the quality of the elements inside. Vata is dominant by the air and space. So you can see what the type of people, they are thin in build, they are slim, and they talk fast, they walk fast, they perform their activities fast. They are quite ungrounded. But the positive side of them, they are very creative, very enthusiastic, and they like to, to learn new things. They are very all the times, looking for something. So this is the vata type of people, but their digestion and their habits are very irregular. So this is irregularities create their irregular digestive fire. Pitta type of people different. Pitta type of people, when they are medium in build. They are not thin as like a vata, or not heavy like kapha. They are medium build, but pitta type of people, but they have very sharp hunger and thirst. So their appetite is very strong. When they are, so here is the picture of the 3, vata, pitta, kapha. You can see their constitutions. So vata is actually dominant by the space and air. So their all the habit, constitution is very much governed by the space and air elements, So they are the people that they learn fast, also forget fast, because there is not much water and earth element to reserve, They tire easily. They don't have much energy, They can be very good in the short run for 100, 200 meter, but they cannot run marathon, But there are creative people, and this is the positive side of them. When they are out of balance, they can have pain in the body because vata governs on the nervous system. So mostly vata type of people have more pain, neurological problems, and they also waste their energy very much in the mental. They think a lot. So thinking process going a lot in vata people. With the type of people, they are they have short temper. They can easily angry, irritations, but they like to control. They are the people actually. They have a good managing abilities. They are the people who are sharp in their understanding. They are a sharp intellect. Because Pitta governs on the wisdom, on the intelligence. So there are people are very sharp and penetrating, but they have short temper and they can be angry, irritations, and also jealousy, and all these sharp and penetrating qualities come from Pitta. Kapha type of people are the people, they always say when they look at the food and they gain weight. These are the people who has the tendency to gain weight, and it's very hard for them to lose it. Because of the dominations of the earth and water elements. But these are the people very stable, grounded, very tranquil in the nature, loving, forgiving. These are the soft quality of kapha. But when they are out of balance, they can be depressed, sadness, or another quality is how you call the very introvert, like not much, very emotional also, very much emotional. So Pitta type of people, when they are out of balance, they can have the skin problems. And Kapha type of people, when they are out of balance, they have metabolic disorders, because everything is slow, So metabolism is very slow. Their digestive fire is very slow, so they can't digest food properly. That's why they feel heavy after digestion. So the food is actually according to our body type, Vata type of people need the food in a small amount, but in a frequent, means like a 3-4 meals in a day. Pitta, 3 meals in a day. Kapha, 2 meals in a day is good for kapha. According to Ayurveda, the food and our digestive fire goes according to the sun. In the morning and evening, the sun is weak. So we need a breakfast, and the dinner has to be small part of the small portion, and the lunch has to be main meal of the day. This is very important, but the lifestyle now is like this, that we are very much busy in the lunchtime, so we are having a more dinner. So dinner, people eating big dinner, and that's really not healthy. So I would talk about the food need to be eaten when the previous meal has been digested. If the previous meal is not digested, then the digestive fire, the agni, is not properly built. So you cannot digest food properly. So that's why there must be gap between 2 meals. And food has to be warm. The cold food actually heavy to digest. Especially in winter, we must avoid the cold food in the winter. Food has to be warm, and also food has to be cooked properly with the proper spices, proper herbs, to make it easily digestible. Raw food must be eaten more in summer, and cooked food more in winter. So food is very dynamic, it's not there's no one type of food is good or one type of food is bad, you know. There's no good and bad in the food. Actually, it's always talui begamish, ekhata margish. So it's always goes according to your individual needs, you know. Yeah, so for restoring balance and health, Ayurveda use purely natural methods like healthy, wholesome food and lifestyle, natural herbs, oil, massage, aroma, as well psychic and spiritual methods like healing stones, primordial sound, yoga, breathing exercise, pranayama, and meditation, you know. So this is all natural therapy actually applies in the person according to his prakriti and vikruti in Ayurveda. Yeah, now let's talk about this. I will talk a lot about drinking hot water, especially in winter. See, deepanam, pachanam, kantham, lachunam, basti shodhanam. This is amazing. It's very simple practice, but is very effective. So in winter, in summer, you know, drinking just normal water in the morning, first thing in the morning to have a glass of water. But in winter, hot water, and especially for the kapha constitution or person who's having a cough, cold, congestion, that's very important to have hot water or hot teas also, you know, herbal teas, ginger, cinnamon, cardamom, you know, mentha, all these herbal teas actually detoxify the body. I will talk a lot about that, how we can detoxify our system from the ama, because this ama, that undigested food in the system, is the main cause of the disease. So that's why it's very important to keep our body flush. And then hot liquid is one of the best things. Actually, all kinds of the drink that we have, we must avoid all the cold drinks, especially in winter. That's actually make our digestive fire low, and then undigested food create the problems. This is the main teaching of Ayurveda, that how to, people are always talk about, you know, please give me some rasayana, you know, kind of rejuvenating herbs or some secrets, you know, because Ayurveda has its names, that it is a science of secrets of longevity, you know, long life. But secret here in the digestion, you know, ikulto, akolto, because I will talk about that human being is the end product of all metabolic processes. So what we eat, so we are. What we think, so we are. What we digest, ingest inside, become part of us. That manifests in our actions, in our behavior, in our relationship. So that is the main teaching of Ayurveda, how we can take care of ourselves to build the less ama. As much ama we have in our body, so fast we go to the graveyard. As less we have, so we go shanti, shanti. No hurry, worry. So it's very important that to check your level of ama. And opposite of ama is ojas. Ojas is the finalmost energy of food. After digestion of the food, you know, it absorbed in the intestine and it go to the circulation to the bloodstream, and then it convert in the 7 tissues, you know, I will talk about Sapt Dhatu, 7 tissues, Rasa, Rakta, Mas, Med, Asti, Majja. So this is like a blood plasma convert in the blood convert in the, you know, muscles, tissues, and that's like this. It goes in the end to the Shukra Dhatu. Shukra is the reproductive tissue, the semen and the ova, you know, semen in the man and the ova in the woman. So Shukra Dhatu, actually, that's why it's very important to regulate the sexual energy, you know, brahmacharya. Because if the Shukra Dhatu is, after if the Shukra Dhatu is built properly, then it converts in the ojas. And ojas is our inner immunity that gives us protection on physical level and also on the mental and emotional level. We become more immune on physical, mental, and the emotional level. So ojas is I was talking about what kinds of food and lifestyle is to enhance the ojas. So all the healthy food, when digest properly, it convert in the ojas. On unhealthy food, unhealthy lifestyle, make the to destroy the ojas. As less ojas we have, so much we are susceptible for all kinds of chronic disease. And as much ama we have also, because ama and ojas are opposite to each other. If there's too much ama, then there's less ojas. More ojas, less ama is the good health. And here is the another things that I would like to share with you in this talk. That's very simple practice that I will talk about. It's called abhyanga, oil massage, especially in winter. Abhyangma chare nityam sajarasam vataha. So how to do this daily self massage? It's a self massage, So it's a abhyanga means oleation. Actually, it's not really massage, it's oleation. So how to do it, especially in winter? Okay, so ready to understand it. You take a quarter cup of oil and heat it up, especially in winter. Sesame oil, or it can be, almond oil. These two oils are actually very good for this abhyanga. And warm it bit, the oil, and then to start from the head, first to oil it on the head, face, hand, chest, legs, and feet, kaput raglaim, and belly, and all these things. 5-10 minutes to do the massage with this oil, and it's before the shower, and then you take shower after this. 10 minutes or 5 minutes enough. The environment must be warm. It's very important. Your bathroom or shower has to be, and to take hot shower after it, and not to put a soap after, because all the pores of the skins are open. So when you put the soap, that go inside and they clog the energy channels. So that's not advisable. So just take hot shower and just wipe your body. Do this practice and feel, and then to feel what it does. I will talk about it do miracles, is delays the aging, you see, it's keep you young, and also it take out the fatigue. Jara, sram. Jara is the old age, shram is the tiredness, dishti prasada, and it improves our eyesight, vision, and it nourishes the body, pushti, ayu, so these do so many things. Also, it helps to the sound sleep. Abhyanga is very good, especially in winter. At least 2-3 times in a week, if you do this, and you feel the effect of it. And I will also talk about how to take out this ama from the body, that called panchakarma, for the detoxification. So panchakarma done in spring and in fall, when the temperature is in moderation, when there's a heat and colds are in moderation, and the season is changed. So when the season is changing, body is also going through the change, and then we apply this system, and it's a whole package program. You can read about it on my site. I think it's enough now.
So
Is there any questions?
So Swaroop, thank you very much, first of all, for your in-depth analysis about the Ayurvedic medicine and also about its attributes, the lifestyle and everything. It's very in-depth and very interesting. And now some of the people that wrote questions,
Yeah.
we'll start to ask them. I will ask by who wrote first. And I would like to say thank you, first of all, Dr. వర్מה, for your time and all your knowledge that you're sharing with us. And from me, Elias Ruben Dנדקר, and from ו-גולן צ'ריקר, we are very happy that you found the time to come to our Zoom sessions and share this. So the
very
first
interesting, very interesting lecture. Thank you, Dr. వర్מה.
Thank you.
So the first question
Mm-hmm.
I see is from Ora Sampson,
Yeah.
and she's asking, what is the best treatment
Mm-hmm.
for an aggressive stomach or sensitive digestion that causes gas nonstop? Maybe it's worry or some food that maybe I should avoid. Please give us some tips.
Okay, so the gases actually is a symptoms of vata aggravation. You know, when the vata, the wind, the air, dominant in the body, the vata person have actually more wind than the air. There is some food, that create the vata. So first of all, to avoid these kinds of food, all the like a cruvit, broccoli. This is the hummus. These are the things which make the dry the intestine and make the more gases. And if you eat them, cook them properly and need to be oily, to use butter or oil proper, not to fry in it, but you can add in it, especially butter or the ghee, make it more easily digestible. And also to avoid um, all kinds of many times it happens when the having person eating food, he is or she actually eating fast. Eating fast food creates more gases. This is, and sometimes they swallow the air also with it. So to need to be avoid. One other things to be practiced, actually the aloe vera juice helps to eliminate this dryness of the intestine. So 1 tablespoon, not the juice, the jelly of the aloe vera. So 1 tablespoon jelly of aloe vera taken in the morning, empty stomach, or before sleeping, and before sleeping also helps to balance the digestion. There's a one formula in Ayurveda, you can get it now, everywhere is available, called Triphala. So Triphala actually is a very good herb. It's combination of 3 herbs, and it's to taken before sleeping. 1 or 2 capsules. You can get it now in some of the pharmacies selling it. Before sleeping, you take with warm water, and it helps to reduce and to stop the gas. And also always to use, we have this asafoetida, hing. Hing is anti-carmetic, is a anti-gas. So use the hing, put a little bit hing in the food. You can get it in any grocery shop everywhere.
Okay, so thank you, Swaroop. The next question is, uh, would like to know where you come from in India, where do you work, and what did you study exactly in connection to the Ayurvedic medicine?
Yeah, so I was born in Agra, and in the family of Ayurveda. My grandfather, Dr. Munnalal Verma, Munnalal Verma, was very popular and very famous physician. Still, people remember him. I did my first degree in science from the Agra University. Then I learned Ayurveda for the Ayurveda, what we call the Ayurveda Visharad is the course that, proficient in Ayurveda, from the is a one town called Etah near Agra. From there I did, and then I did my curiosity about the marma. There's a vital points in the body, what we call them like in Chinese medicine we call acupoints. In Ayurveda we call them marma. Marmas are the energy point that lie on the whole subtle body. So I was very curious about it. So it took me to the Chinese medicine. Then I learned Chinese medicine to understand the relation between Chinese medicine and the Indian medicine. So I learned acupuncture, and that's why I use also the marma puncture. It's a big science in Ayurveda, and it's getting up now more popular. So this I also practice and teach marma puncture. Then I joined Kaivalya Dham, and I was there 5 years. I worked there, and learn also yoga therapy. It's a institute in between Bombay and Pune called Lonavla. It's very popular institute to scientific research in yoga. So it's an amazing place. One of my, I have 3 homes, in Agra and the Kevaledham and in Israel. So I feel 3 places I feel at home. So from there, actually, I came here in '93 and start to practice in Tel Aviv. And since then, I'm here.
Fascinating, very fascinating. Can I ask you a question as
Yes.
to what influenced Ayurvedic has Ayurvedic influenced the Chinese medicine, or the Chinese influenced the Ayurveda, or maybe they came from the same roots? What exactly?
As my understanding, I did a lot of research on it. Actually, the origin of the Chinese and Indian medicine looks like the same. It's very hard to say that which influence which. Is very much hard to really to realize it. But many, it's amazing. Few of the Ayurvedic books actually disappear in from India, but they were preserved in the Tibetan literature, Tibetan medicine, and some of the Tibetan medicine medical books disappear from there, but we found it in India. So it's very much common. Both medical system, they have their basic principles also very similar. Like in Chinese medicine, there are 3 main components: yin, yang, and qi, and they are vata, pitta, and kapha. So qi is a vata, and the yang is pitta, and the yin is kapha. So how this goes? The same thing with the Rambam, the Rambam medical system. Rambam also talk about the 3 different body type. For vata, he said dry temperament. For pitta, he called hot temperament, and the kapha he called moist, moist, latu, like a laku. So moist temperament. So like this, there's many medical system actually very similar to Ayurveda. So it's hard to say which was the which is, but they influence each other. This is we can see.
Okay, and Swarup, there is another question
Yeah.
from Masil that please give few words of explanation about the importance and correct way of fasting.
Fasting.
Yes.
Okay.
Tom.
Okay. Fasting is one of the part of the panchakarma actually. It's fasting. First of all, I will talk about that if you eat food properly and follow the routines and the lifestyle, healthy lifestyle, really you don't need to do fast. But it's not easy, nowadays in any way. So what we call now intermittent fast, it's becoming very popular. Actually, it is the principle of Ayurveda, because Ayurveda say that, to have the gap between the from the dinner to the breakfast as much as you can, So that is the fast that everybody can do. So finish your dinner 6-7 o'clock, and then to have the very light breakfast in the morning 8-9 o'clock. So this gap of something like how many hours there now? More than 12 hours. So that's actually make the digest the ama in the body. Ama digested also in fasting. That's why fasting is very important. So and there is another fast that person can do sometime to quit the dinner, for example, just to have around 11-12 o'clock some fruits. Fruit fast is very good, or the vegetable soup fast, just to have a soup once in a day. So 3 days fast is very good, just to have a soup in the lunchtime, 3 days not to eat anything, just drink hot water, herbal tea in whole day. So 3 days eating the vegetable soup is a very good cleansing fast. So I will not talk about the complete fast. Always I will talk about with mono diet, to have something. So the dietitian must go on, and then and it's very individual actually. So it's very hard to generalize the fast in Ayurveda. We always give the fast according to the prakriti vikruti of the person.
So it's actually very individual. You need
Very
to
individual,
have a
but
conversation.
very good. The fast is very good for the kapha. Actually, if the vata do fast, he can go out of balance, So it's not good to do the fast for vata. But for kapha is very good. They feel very good actually in fasting. Drinking herbal tea all the day and not eating, they feel more lighter. So fast is good for kapha constitution.
Okay. First of all, I want to answer one question that was posed, that where can we find you, Dr. వర్מה, in Israel, and how to buy or get instructions, address, emails, and etc. I will say that everyone that registered will be happy to provide all the contacts of Dr. వర్מה. So anybody that needs can ask at this point through me, through the group that you approached me, and I will give you the details and information to how to contact Dr. వర్מה and how to get in touch with him.
I already contacted Dr. వర్מה, and it helped me with my blood, all the tests. So thank you, Dr. वर्मा.
It's my pleasure. And yeah, I'm here in Zikron, my clinic in Zikron Yaakov, and if I opened my first clinic in Tel Aviv in end of the 93, 94. And since, and then until 2002, 3, I was in Tel Aviv, then I moved to Herzliya. And then now I'm here in Zikron Yaakov. I teach also Ayurveda. We have 3 years course of Ayurveda. I teach also Ayurvedic massage. I give also cooking workshops, and also soon we are organizing a workshop that taking the people in the forest and to identifying the herbs and the food, how you call the wild plants and the wild nourishing, rejuvenating herbs and food, and to cook from it a gourmet meal out of it.
I can say for firsthand that your meals are amazing with the cooking that you're doing. Yeah, it's very tasty.
So my contact you can send to them, if they like, or also they can send their contact and we can be in touch.
Yeah. I can send everybody that wants. I can send the contacts, the Facebook, the email, phone numbers, any kind of media that you can approach Dr. వర్מה. Are there any other questions that anybody wants to ask?
How many years it takes to study Ayurveda? I mean, are there courses that teach you something, and then you can go out and practice, or to get some information? How long does it take to study Ayurveda?
I teach here 3 years course. Since 2000, I'm teaching. My students are practicing Ayurveda, here in Israel. I think more than 6-7 students that are quite well established, practicing Ayurveda. So I built this 3 years course. In India, we have a 5 years course of Ayurveda. 6 year actually is taking the 1 year for stage. But there also you learn modern medicine bit, But here in I teach the pure Ayurveda, food, lifestyle, body work, herbs, the Ayurveda has a big pharmacopoeia. There are hundreds of thousands of formulas. Ayurvedic pharmacopoeia is much, much bigger than any pharmacopoeia on the earth, the Chinese or even the modern medicine don't have so much combinations and the formulations of like Ayurveda has. It's thousands of years research, and then they built and they made amazing these formulas that based on very scientific understanding.
And there is a question that was asked, and I will answer that Dr. Verma is giving individual consultations, treatments about Ayurveda, about yoga, meditation, Tantra. We'll give everybody, like I said, all the details, and you can ask him personally whichever question you want or have a consultation. And I know that treatments, medical treatments in this field are also allowed also during the lockdown. Something else somebody wants to ask?
Or if somebody wants to share his experience, there are some of my patients also there, students.
I like to say first, thank you, Verma. Nice, good to see you. I want to share from my experience that I study with you,
Yes, yes.
Ayurveda.
Avishag, nice to meet you. For long time to
Avishag,
see you, yeah.
and you are a wonderful teacher, and it's so great.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
Long time.
Long time no see.
Yeah. Thanks.
There
you for-
is still courses this year of the Ayurvedic.
No. I'm actually this last 3-4 years I didn't. Maybe next year I will start. I will let you know when they will be.
Yeah. Yes. I doing your massage, Marma massage.
Very good. Yeah.
Can
Yeah, this also I teach. Ayurvedic massage. Any other questions? Anybody?
Okay. If there's no more questions now, so I would like again to thank Dr. Verma for sharing his knowledge with us.
Maybe
And
we can finish it in a small meditation. What do you think? Just to
sure, of course.
yeah, just a few minutes, just to get connected, because this is the, Ayurveda is very experiential knowledge. So let's get in touch and to feel the three aspects of our being. What is really to be in touch with our physical body,
Yes.
and to touch with the mind and to the consciousness. Okay, so let's sit in a comfortable posture.
Okay.
If it's possible, keep your back straight, so the energy flow from the lower chakra to the upper will be in row. Keep your eyes closed so you can bring your senses from external world to the internal. Keep your eyes closed. Sit in a comfortable posture where you feel more stable. Now, to be aware about your physical body, from down to the up. Feel your body weight on your seat where you're sitting. Relax your legs, lower back, all the back, belly and chest, shoulders, arms, hands. Relax your neck, throat, back of the head, top of the head. Just bring your attention to this part, and bringing attention is bringing prana, and it will get relaxed by itself. Relax your face, mouth, now your whole body is relaxed, no movement anywhere. Now just bring your awareness towards your breathing. You can notice that as you breathe in, as you inhale, the body expand, and you exhale, the body shrink. Just observe this expansion and contraction. When you breathe in, the air goes in your nostrils and enter in the lungs. When you breathe out, it's go out from there. Just watch it without changing your breath. Just watch your natural rhythm of the breathing. Sitting silently and watching your breath. And then there's the awareness, your consciousness, your chetana watching you as you're watching your breath. If any thoughts come, just continue to watch your breath and try to look at the thinkers of the thought. From where the thoughts comes, that thinkers of the thought is the chetana, the consciousness. As you continue, watch your breath, breathing. The breathing becomes shallow and shallow and shallow and very slow. Keep on watching your breath. slowly bring your awareness from your breathing towards your body. Look at your body from inside, sitting relaxedly. Feel like you're coming out with relaxation. If you feel like you can open your eyes. Thank you.
Thank you, Swarup ji.
Thank you all.
Okay.
Wonderful.
And there is questions about Tantra and Puja. You can ask Swarup directly. I will share with everybody. So, Dhanyawad, Bhai Saab. And toda lekulam. And hope to see you the next time. Toda. Swarup, you want to say something for the end?
Just I'm really so thankful that you arrange and you organize these meetings. Thanks to you and Golan to do the things, and Yoram to make such a beautiful the graphics. So I'm really thankful that it's happened.
Thank you, Swarup. And thank you also, Daniel Reuven, for editing all our videos and publishing them.
Okay.
Always helping. And so thank you very much, Dr. వర్מה, and hope we have you soon. And everybody is welcome to contact you.
Yeah, no problem. Any questions about relating of Ayurveda, yoga, Tantra, meditation, anybody anytime can ask, I'm here.
From personal experience,
Toda.
Yeah.
the best.
Thank you.